body. I use my food as my fuel, right? So that I can do the things that I want to do and train the way I want to train and look the way I want to look. Here we go. All right. Breakfast. I eat very simple. I eat a lot of the same things day in, day out. I'm pretty good at eating the same thing over and over, like eating how I want to eat and not cheating and going into eating other crap. But I also live a normal life, right? So I'm like a 90-10, 85-15 type of guy, right? 85 to 90% of the time I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. 10 to 15% of the time I'm going to live my life like a normal human being, and I'm going to have a pizza, and I'm going to have whatever else, I'll have a couple drinks. But, for the most part, I am pretty regimented about how I eat. And so for the past 2 years, this is pretty much the same thing every single time. I know it's really, really interesting. So I've been a quarter pound of ground beef. I don't weigh it, just kind of eyeball it. I pan sear it in butter. 5 eggs over easy, again, just cooked in butter. I don't cook in any sort of oils or anything like that. Trying to stay away from that kind of stuff. And then I have a ton of fruit in the morning. So yeah. But yeah, I've been eating this way for a couple of years. I feel really good. I had to definitely play around with the amount of fruit and honey that I've had, depending on the amount of working out I'm going to be doing. So the more I'm working out, obviously the more honey, fruit I'm going to add into my breakfast. And if I know it's going to be a slower day, I won't have as much. And I've just found the fruit that I really enjoy, which is blueberries, bananas, oranges, raspberries, blackberries. A couple years ago, definitely wasn't recovering as well. Definitely added a little weight that I didn't want. All right, I need to make some adjustments. I was eating like an asshole. I was eating, burgers, pizza, burritos on pretty much like a 3-day rotation. So once I learned a little bit more about carnivore diet, I was like, okay, this sounds cool. Talked to some people who have done it, who've tried it, some advocates of it. And I decided to give it a go. I tried it for a couple days straight, pure carnivore, where it was just red meat. And I didn't feel good on that. So I made the adjustments back to the fruit, honey, eggs, some raw dairy. I do have a little bit of raw kefir sometimes. And I've just, ever since then, I feel good. My joints feel less inflamed. I recover well. I'm putting on muscle. That was actually something I really struggled with when I was competing, was actually eating enough. It was hard, and I didn't feel like cooking all the time. And so I would just go out and grab fast food or whatever was easiest and most convenient. And if you're trying to do this and you're really busy, having meal prepping is huge. I tend not to meal prep. I tend to make all my meals pretty much on spot. I like the way it tastes more. I mean, it's pretty simple. So I start my morning with my coffee, and then I have my breakfast. 5 eggs over easy, pound of ground beef, just salt, only salt on there. I'll do a banana with honey, orange, blueberries. I'll just keep eating until I'm like, oh yeah, that's a good amount. Water with salt. And then after I have this, I'll have my second coffee. And then I'll typically go work out then. Everything about the carnivore diet is funny because it's everything that opposite of everything we've been taught our entire lives, right? Greens aren't that good for you. Grains aren't that good for you. I still struggle with it a little bit. You're like, oh, should I add some stuff back in? But I really feel so much better these past 2 years. I'm leaner, bigger, and I don't work out as much. I don't know if this is the best way to eat or not, but I have really enjoyed it. It wasn't a hard sell for me. Everything that I eat on a daily basis is something that I really like. I love red meat. I love steaks. I love ground beef. I love eggs. I love honey. I love most fruits. So it wasn't like, oh, this is going to be a hard diet for me. No, this is pretty simple. I don't have any relationship with food. I don't have cravings like a lot of people do. Like my wife, she's like, oh, I really want this tonight. And it's funny, in my head, I'm like, I don't really ever have those feelings. Like, I just want to fuel my body. I use my food as my fuel, right? So that I can do the things that I want to do and train the way I want to train and look the way I want to look. But how many times when you're growing up, everyone's like, oh, eat your greens. And then, man, I'll tell you what, I got rid of them and I feel better. It's weird. Who knows? Maybe it's all bullshit. Maybe it's all in my head. I do kind of do it in the same order too every day. I do the meat and eggs, the blueberries, and then the orange. And then I do the banana with honey because it's my favorite part. And I want to save it for last. It's kind of like my dessert. And that banana honey, well, you find raw, unfiltered honey. Whew, that's good stuff right there. And when blueberries are in season, whew, they taste kind of jammy. It's my favorite. Yeah. Car orange must have like a grapefruit fruit flavor. So normally I like my honey, it's runny. And for some reason this year's batch, they said crystallized. And so you can heat it up in the water. I tried to, it just didn't do much. So I'll just eat the honey and then eat the banana. Water's important. Don't drink out of plastic. Put a little electrolytes and drink as much as you can, right? Putting salt in your water is very important, right? We can't just hydrate with just pure water. So got to put a little bit of salt in it. There you go. I'm a little bit of a crazy lunatic when it comes to the things I put in my body, because it's something we put into our body. This is our health. This is us controlling our own health and not relying on outside sources to do it for us. So I normally do an espresso, but lately I've been enjoying like a second small cup of coffee. I know, it's super interesting. Who doesn't want to talk about coffee? Me, I do. That's who wants to. Today is lunch, and I just finished my workout. So immediately following a workout, I always do my creatine JB X Endurance. Everybody should be taking creatine. Creatine is so good for everybody. It's actually something that our body naturally produces, but we don't produce enough of it. So supplementing anywhere from 2 to 5 grams daily is for everyone. Not only is it great for muscle recovery, it's great for cognitive function. It's great for ATP production. So there's so many good things that creatine does for us. So yeah, go get yourself some creatine. Everyone should be on it. Dump a little of that in my water, and then I'll drink that while I cook my meal. Here we go. The main thing that I always like to focus on is your protein. So for lunch, a lot of times it's just a pound of ground beef. This is 85-15. I like it a little bit fattier, 80-20 even. It just has better flavor, easier for me to get down. But yeah, I basically make my pound of ground beef into 4 patties, and that's how I cook it. Cook it in cast iron. I'll cook it on the grill outside sometimes, but this has actually become how I cook everything, is just on a cast iron on the stove. Cooking in tallow or butter is my way to go. So I'll just throw a little bit of nice little scoop of tallow in the pan. Throw a little salt as I cook. A little back of yard seasoning. I don't know. This is the go-to seasoning, garlic, pepper, butcher's rub. So it's pretty good. It's got some good flavor. Smash these patties down a little bit, makes them cook a little faster. I always do a sweet potato with lunch. And the easiest way I found to cook sweet potatoes for me is throw it in the microwave for 6 minutes. I'll have my oven on at 400 to 425. Once that thing cooks, which I already prepped it for 6 minutes in the microwave, I'll just throw it in a pan or in a whatever, something that's, again, not crap. Throw it in there, and I throw it in the oven for basically while I cook my beef patties. And yeah, and then it's ready to go. So lunch is super simple. You can easily have this pre-made. I just like the flavor, and I have the time to make it at lunch. I have my downtime. I work obviously from home, so food prepping is always good. A good idea is easy food prep. This cooks pretty quick. I can be done, have this ready in about 15 minutes. So as long as the meat's thawed out, that's the thing I always have to remember is go down and grab some beef in the morning and have it thawed by lunchtime. But yeah, a lot of red meat. And I've been eating this way for over 2 years now. And to be honest, I've never felt better. I'm leaner. I'm definitely putting on size. I wish I would have known how to eat like this, or I wish I would have been able to force myself to eat more when I was competing. I struggled to eat a lot when I was competing. I don't know. And I also was eating like an asshole. I was eating a lot of fast food, a lot of burritos, a lot of burgers, a lot of pizza, where, now I'm just a lot more focused or a lot more disciplined when it comes to what I'm putting in my body and just taking the time to cook my meals. It's obviously a little easier. I'm not working out as much, so I have a little bit more time. But I always struggled with strength stuff, and I just feel like I wasn't eating enough protein. So normally with lunch too, I'll have a cup of bone broth. I do kettle and fire. We do have bones. We want to start making our own. We just have been lazy, or I have been lazy, not we. So I normally just grab some kettle and fire. It's pretty good. I love the taste of bone broth. I'll drink it cold or hot. I don't really care. But yeah, a cup of bone broth a day typically. If I don't have it at lunchtime, I will have it with dinner or after dinner for like evening snack. So bone broth. So yeah, we got some blueberries, some little guac here that's really just lime juice, avocado, and a little bit of salt and pepper, I believe. The wifey makes this and I love it. And I'll throw this on my burgers because got to get them good fats. And we're just waiting on the sweet potato. It's almost done. And I'm not telling you how you should eat. I'm telling you how I eat to fuel my body. I just want that to be very clear. Do I think this is the best way to eat? I think it's the best way to eat for me. I've tried other ways of eating, haven't felt that great. Anyway, so I figured this out, and for the last 2 years, I sleep better. My anxiety's gone. I'm leaner. I have more muscle mass on me. So yeah, I'm going to continue to eat this way. But that's the thing about nutrition. There's a lot of different ways to do it. So play with it. Play with things. Remove things from your diet. Put things into your diet. See how you feel after you eat them. All of this is an experiment for yourself. You don't have to eat it a certain way. And it doesn't have to be a bad thing if you decide to have some pizza one day. It doesn't have to be this like, oh, I'm a failure. It's because it's not, right? Live that 80-20, 90-10 lifestyle where 80 to 90% of the time you're making the right choice. And then you give yourself the leeway to make the wrong, to have things that you just really enjoy that maybe aren't the best for you. So that's how I've lived my life pretty much the entire way. And I've really found that eating this way, though, eating a lot of red meat, eating a lot of fruit, adding some sweet potatoes in for some carbohydrates, adding some bone broth in. Like I just enjoy that, and I like the way that I feel after I eat this way. I'm not bloated. I don't get that like really tiredness after I eat, like that. Oh, I got to take an afternoon nap when I'm done eating, and I don't have coffee after the morning. So my last coffee is about 9:30, 10 o'clock 10 a.m. at the latest. And I don't have that afternoon crash though with this type of eating. So just really found that it's I enjoy this way, and I feel the best from it. All right, for my sweet potato, I do take the skin off. Some people, they like to eat the skin. I don't. I don't like the way it tastes. So I just kind of get the skin off and then pretty much smother it in butter. Boom, look at that. Give it a little chop it up. I eat a lot of sweet potatoes. This is a big one. It's a big one. So yeah, here's the lunch, right? We got This is, I think, 3/4 pound of ground beef. Since I already pulled a little meat out of that, is I'll probably have another snack somewhere before dinner, because if not, I know I'll be really hungry at some point, or I'll have some heart or some liver, calf liver, calf heart, beef, a little avocado, some sweet potatoes and butter, some blueberries, some bone broth, some water with some creatine. That's my lunch. Easy. So to give people a reference of how I'm eating compared to how much I weigh like 168 pounds. That's roughly about what I weigh. And it's roughly about what I've weighed for the past probably 10 years or so, if not longer. I've always hovered around like 165 to 168. There was one time in the games where I wanted to put on some size and I jumped up to about 175 because I was drinking a lot of milk back then. And I got up to 175 and I just I felt too heavy. And so I didn't like it. So I came back down to about 160, just below 170, 168, 169, somewhere around there. And so this is what I'm eating to basically maintain that weight with the amount of exercise that I put in. So yeah, it's about 2 pounds, 2.25 pounds or 2.25 pounds of red meat, 2 sweet potatoes, and a good amount of a banana, a good amount of blueberries, an orange, probably a couple of tablespoons of honey, some guac, and probably like a half a cup of sheep yogurt is about what I eat on a daily basis.
And those eggs.
And oh yeah, and 5 eggs. I'm sorry, and 5 eggs. Sorry, and 5 eggs. This is a damn sweet tater. I felt like I opened it and I was like, that seems bigger than it was. We're done. That was quite the sweet potato today, but we made it. Now, some blueberries. You know, I don't measure any of this shit. I just eat probably a few handfuls. Ooh, these are good today. Yeah, the fruit here in Denver, not the best, but blueberries are coming around right now. Now I'll drink my cold bone broth. All right, so there's afternoon after workout routine. Just trying to, fuel the body for what I want to be able to use it for. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it. That's lunch for me, afternoon. Super exciting shit. This is going to be a lot similar to lunch. It's very similar how I eat. Like I said, I'm a very simple man. I eat the same shit pretty much every day. And I feel good when I do it. And that's why I do it. So for dinner tonight, we're going to do a tri-tip, which has become one of my favorite cuts. I will sear it on both sides in the cast iron in butter, 3-4 minutes aside. And then throw it in the oven, in the pan at 400 degrees until it gets to about 125 degrees internal temp. So, and then we'll do some sweet potatoes, sheep yogurt, blueberries. We'll have a little fruit. And that is dinner. Really exciting shit. Go. Most of the meat is gone out of the cow that we've gotten, and I have another one coming soon. So, right now, just kind of going and getting the meat that we want during the week. I just love the flavor of tri-tip. So I normally buy all of them. Yes. Always a team effort. And then for sweet potato, I'm just gonna take this, throw it in the microwave for 6 minutes, and then throw it in the oven after that for about 10-15 minutes. Nothing special here. So I cut out vegetables, a couple years ago. Most of them are covered in pesticides. And so, I never really felt great eating them. I only ate them for the reasons that I thought they were healthy. And, even the organic ones, can typically be covered in something that I don't really want to consume. So that's why I've cut out vegetables. I feel amazing. I have had no issues. And I don't fart as much.
That is true.
So there's that. Nice, simple, easy. Like I've always said, you don't have to have a relationship with food. Find the stuff that works for you Get the protein in, get your carbohydrates in, get your fats in. Don't be scared of fat. Fat's good. You know, with butter, it will smoke a little bit. So if you want to, you could use ghee. Ghee doesn't smoke as much. I just like butter.
Or sometimes we use this.
Yeah, or we'll use wet tallow. Today we just threw some butter in there. Just throw it in. I'll just let that sear a couple minutes each side. Liver, Skylark grass-fed beef liver. So I'm gonna cook the liver in some tallow instead of butter. So throw this bad boy in. It'll probably normally take 20 minutes. That's a thinner cut, but we'll see. That one's probably gonna take about 20-ish minutes or so. Pretty simple, not complicated. I kind of just sear the outsides. The inside will still be kind of undercooked. You know, if you find good liver, like grass-fed from good cows, it tastes so much better. If the boys are here, right, I cut it right in half. They each get an ounce, and I get 2, and then. But since you're here, Whit, you're gonna get 2 ounces. There we go. It's not bad. Like once you get used to it, I've hated it for a while, but then I just started to like get over it, and now I enjoy it. I don't mind it at all. And it's not much, you know. It's 2 ounces. It's better than any synthetic vitamin you can find. Like, and your piss doesn't turn neon yellow like most synthetic vitamins turn your pee yellow. Removed from heat. Look at that. Meat probe. Already told me. Boom. All right. Yummy. Oh, yeah. That's going to be tasty. Nice sear. Let that sit for a couple minutes, and then boom. We be eating good. And that's pretty much how we cook dinner almost every night. And if it's not tri-tip, it's some other steak or roast or something. So this is just what I've been really loving. You know, it's got some fat on it. It's got some really good flavor for a roast, and it's super simple and easy. And then we'll have sweet potato. Sweet tater. Oh, yeah. I think I nailed it. Oh, yeah. There we go. That is good. I didn't actually look and see how much this is. But yeah, I'm eating probably about a pound of this, I would say. I'll split it with whoever wants it. To be honest, at night I typically only eat like, depending on how big they are. Like this one's pretty big. I'd probably only eat like half of this. I'll eat more sweet potato at lunch than I do at dinner. That's a steaming hot pile of sweet potatoes right there. That is a big old amount of sweet potatoes.
What? That is a lot. That's a bit much.
Yeah. Last couple bites, none left. I'll just have a few handfuls of blueberries. A lot of blueberries getting in this house. And then my treat is this sheep yogurt. Belworth Farm sheep yogurt. I do a pretty good amount of this. I did a scoop of vanilla X Endurance protein. After lunch and dinner, I take 3 of my Extreme Endurance. I like to take them with food. You don't have to, but I like to. And that's dinner.
We're pretty boring.
Pretty boring, but I love it. This is a treat. So this is how you end the bowl instead of scraping around because someone doesn't like the way that the spoon scrapes the bowl.
Nails on a chalkboard.
See this bad boy. Oh my gosh. It just keeps going. That is a clean bowl award right there.
I want my gold star. That is dinner with the Bridges. I know, so exciting. And that is literally my last meal. I won't eat anything else before bed. Very simple. You don't overcomplicate it. It's working for me. I feel really good. I'm, lean. I'm not, I feel great. How do you feel?
I feel much better eating this way. I just used to eat what I thought was healthy in the past, is like rice and I don't know, having vegetables that were sprayed with all these pesticides, and eating like this, I don't ever feel bloated. I just feel so much better.
Yeah. And the liver, the organ meat, make sure that I'd recommend those over eating, heart. Heart is a really easy organ to start off with if liver is too harsh for you. Tongue is a good one too. And so, if you go to your local butcher shop, a lot of those, they'll have those for you. Heart actually tastes like muscle. It tastes like regular meat, as opposed to liver has that a little bit different texture. So, yeah, that's it. That's the day. That is a full. Now you have a full day of my eating. Hope you enjoyed it. Pass the word. Don't forget to pay the man.